You were consuming alcohol, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And there was actually an open bottle of tequila in your car?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you ended up crashing your vehicle, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you fled the scene?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Hernandez, you have heard the statement, and Mr. Sneed, you would verify that that is the plea offer that's been offered?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So, Mr. Hernandez, you've heard the statement of your attorney and the prosecuting attorney. Is it your intention on file number 24-21980FH to plead guilty to count 1, operating while intoxicated, third offense, which carries a maximum penalty of up to 5 years in prison, and with count 2 and count 3, as well as your habitual offender being dismissed? So is that your intention?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and then you're currently on probation, and on file number 23-21325FH, there is a violation of probation. Let me get that there. Has this been going on that long? Hold on. There is a violation of probation that you violated the terms of your probation by drinking and refusing to take an alcohol test during arrest by the Adrian Police Department on August 3rd, crashing your vehicle and fleeing the scene of the crime on foot with an open bottle of tequila also being found in the vehicle. And I believe that's a violation of probation for district court on 23-21325FH. That might be a misdemeanor. So let me see here. On that one, you're on probation for domestic violence. So it looks like if you plead guilty or found guilty, your maximum penalty could be up to 93 days in jail. And then on file number 23-21526FH, you are on probation for operating while intoxicated, third offense. And that carries a maximum penalty of up to 5 years in prison if you plead guilty or found guilty. And the allegation for the violation of probation on that file is that you violated your articles of probation dated May 17th of 24 by consuming alcohol, committing the act of OWI third, and leaving the scene of an accident. So do you understand those are the allegations against you on all 3 files?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is it your intention then to plead guilty to those violation of probation charges as well as the OWI third on the new file?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Are you satisfied with Mr. Murphy as your attorney and the advice that he's given you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Neither the prosecutor, the defendant, or anyone on the defendant's behalf has discussed a possible sentence with the court. Is that correct, Mr. Sneed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that correct, Mr. Murphy?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And Mr. Hernandez, as far as you're aware, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
If a guilty plea is accepted, there will be no trial. This means that you will be giving up rights you would have had at trial. I'm going to explain those rights to you now to make sure that you understand them. So, sir, you do have a right to a speedy public trial by jury. You may ask for a non-jury trial, and if the prosecutor and court agree, you can have a non-jury trial. You have the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to have the prosecuting attorney prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you are guilty, and you do not have to prove anything. You have the right to be present at trial and have witnesses against you appear at your trial and to ask those witnesses questions. You have the right to have the court order any witnesses you have for your defense to appear at the trial. You have the right to remain silent during your trial, not to have your silence used against you. However, you also have the right to testify at your trial if you want to testify. Do you understand that if your plea is accepted, you may be giving up the right to appeal issues that would otherwise be appealable if you were convicted at trial? Do you understand that, Mr. Hernandez?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you are not a citizen of the United States of America, a conviction of a crime may result in deportation, exclusion from admission to the United States of America, or denial of naturalization. Do you have any questions about the rights that I've given to you?
No, Your Honor.
All right, so Mr. Hernandez, let's start with the new file. Hold on, let me get to the new one. All right, so on file number 24-21980FH, Mr. Hernandez, how do you plead to the charge that on or about August 3rd of 2024 in the city of Adrian in the county of Lenawee that you did commit the offense of operating while intoxicated, third offense? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty, Your Honor.
All right. And Mr. Hernandez, on file number 23-21526FH, how do you plead to the charge that you violated your terms of probation by consuming alcohol and committing the act of OWI third and leaving the scene of an act, or OWI third? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty, Your Honor.
All right. And then on file number 23-21325FH, how do you plead to the charge that you violated the terms of your probation on that file by crashing your vehicle, fleeing a scene on foot, and consuming alcohol? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty, Your Honor.
All right. Has anyone made any threats or promises to you to induce you to plead guilty to this charge?
No, Your Honor.
Do you understand that if I accept this plea, you will be giving up any and all claims that your plea is given as a result of promises or threats that were not disclosed to the court on the record during this hearing, or that it was not your own choice to enter the plea? Do you understand that?
I do, Your Honor.
Is the prosecutor or defense counsel aware of any promises or threats or inducements other than the plea bargain to induce the defendant to plead guilty? Mr. Sneed?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Murphy?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Hernandez, has your attorney promised you any particular sentence or estimated what your sentence will be?
No, Your Honor.
Is it your choice to plead guilty to these charges?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so Mr. Hernandez, on file number, let's go to file number 24-21980FH. So Mr. Hernandez, on August 3rd of 2024, were you driving a motor vehicle in the city of Adrian in the county of Lenawee?
I was, Your Honor.
And had you been consuming alcohol?
Yes, I was, Your Honor.
Would you agree that your blood alcohol content was 0.08 grams or higher, which is higher than the amount allowed by law?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And Mr. Hernandez, you have a previous operating while intoxicated on April 21 of 2023 in Lenawee County. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And then you have an operating while intoxicated third offense on March 13 of 2024 in the Lenawee County Circuit Court, which I currently have on probation for. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Sneed, are you satisfied on the third offense?
I am, Judge. Thank you.
All right. Let's move on to file number 23-21325FH. Mr. Hernandez, and I'm going to do it on both of these files as well as 23-21526FH. So Mr. Hernandez, on both of these files, you were placed on probation. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
You have multiple terms of probation. One would have been you're not to consume alcohol while on probation. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And the other term would have been you're not to commit any new offenses, correct? Or commit any crimes?
Yes, Your Honor.
Right. So on August 3rd of 2024, you were consuming alcohol. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And there was actually an open bottle of tequila in your car?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you ended up crashing your vehicle. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you fled the scene?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And I'm satisfied on both of the violations. Mr. Sneed, has court complied with the MCR 6.302 B, C, and D?
Yes, thank you.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, I accept the pleas. They've been given understandably, voluntarily, and accurately. Mr. Hernandez does have full knowledge of his rights. He does have competent counsel. This court has made no agreement regarding the possibility of a plea or possible sentence in this case with the prosecutor, the defense attorney, the defendant, or anyone acting in the interest of either of them. I'm going to refer this case to the probation department for a pre-sentence investigation, and I will set this for December 26th at 8:15 in the morning. Mr. Hernandez, someone from district court may come talk to you, but your probation officer in circuit court will come talk to you. They're gonna do an updated probation violation report on one of your files, and they'll do a pre-sentence report on your other file. Be truthful with them. I mean, this is the time, Mr. Hernandez, to be truthful about your issues with alcohol as well
I
as your
clearly am.
background. And I'm glad, and they'll prepare a pre-sentence report. We'll provide that to Mr. Murphy. Mr. Murphy will meet with you in advance of sentencing, and we will see you back on December 26th at 8:15 in the morning. So thank you all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Or
Thank you, Your Honor.
thank you, Mr. Hernandez.